2020 true crime documentary Athlete A is directed by Bonnie Cohen and produced by Saren Marshall, Jen Say, and Julie Parker Bonello. Athlete A expertly explores and exposes the toxic and unsafe culture of USA Gymnastics and delves into the uncomfortable dark truths surrounding Dr. Larry Nassar and the countless instances he sexually assaulted young gymnasts. Athlete A follows the victims, bold reporters, and legal team involved in drawing attention to the injustices occurring, not only in the case of Larry Nassar, but also within USA Gymnastics as a whole. This eye-opening documentary opens up the conversation surrounding sexual abuse and the way in which individuals in power use their platforms to turn a blind eye and cover up sinister acts. This documentary utilizes interviews as the key way in which ideas are communicated, speaking with victims, reporters, and legal teams, as well as utilizing clips from real events, conveys the importance of the overall moral of the documentary, appealing to the audience's emotions. It is evident that director Bonnie Cohen's choice to integrate interviews into the documentary serves a larger purpose, giving a voice to the once voiceless. The structure of each interview sees the victims, for example, at the front and center of the screen, placing a large emphasis on their individual stories that have bonded them together for life through shared experience. The documentary opens with the story of gymnast Maggie Nichols, an athlete who was mistreated by USA Gymnastics and a victim of Dr. Larry Nassar. Opening with the story of Maggie Nichols and hearing directly from one of Nassar's victims and family members evokes feelings of empathy from the audience. In addition, the history of USA Gymnastics is almost immediately exposed, utilizing various articles and witness statements as evidence, notifying the audience of the years of silence victims and the people in power covering up the abuse of young gymnasts. This notifies the viewers of the key themes of injustice, sexual abuse, and the overall mistreatment of athletes within USA Gymnastics right away. As the documentary develops, we hear numerous victims tell their story. Investigative journalists detail the way in which they were able to draw light on these injustices, and experts in these fields emphasize the detrimental psychological effects of these actions. In addition, real clips from interviews and educational videos produced by Nassar are played, allowing the audience an insight into not only Nassar's approaches, but also a glimpse into his personality and the way in which he spoke to children to gain their trust. The tone and mood are set by the visual style, particularly when the interviews are conducted. The interviews with the victims see the women in their homes, the place they feel safest, placing the audience as almost a friend on the other side of the camera, listening to these victims talk about the hardest moments of their lives. Juxtaposing to this are shots of the investigative journalists that were the driving force in bringing these issues to light. The mood dramatically shifts from listening to the distraught parents recalling the implications of this incident and victim stories to these individuals in an office who are determined and set on uncovering the truth. Additionally, in order to truly convey the enduring issue of sexual assault, director Bonnie Cohen delves into the history of gymnastics, utilizing key examples of individuals, historical factors, and interviews with significant members in the gymnastic world to truly convey where this abuse has stemmed from. Sound plays a crucial role in conveying the overall meaning of this documentary. Eerie, melancholy sound effects play when listening to the victims and families, stimulating feelings of unease. This is juxtaposed to the sudden cuts to crowds cheering when clips are displayed of gymnastic competitions, providing a sense of hope and childhood innocence. The utilization of silence is noteworthy. As victims recall details of their experiences, there is silence, truly drawing attention and placing emphasis on the importance of each individual experience.
I remember Beth telling me, you lost 6 pounds, now we gotta figure out how to keep it off.
The end of the documentary is perhaps the most powerful. Real footage from the victims' statements in court directed at Nassar is depicted. The decision by director Bonnie Cohen gives a voice back to the voiceless. Their stories, verbatim, are told. This moment is a moment of justice and future hope.